how that news touched you on that day.
Yeah, I met Comrade Nujoma in exile. My first, impression of him, it was that trademark signature smile. And later on, I would see that he is a charismatic leader. Now, how did it come that I met him? So, a group of Rehoboth comrades and went to Zambia, to Lusaka, with the help of senior party leaders in Namibia at the time. And we have got that opportunity early in May 1989, just a few months before independence. So as a group, we went there, and the first day in the afternoon, Comrade Nujoma invited us, took us to a meeting venue in State House of the Zambian state, Zambia. So, the first evening, he had a very short discussion, very fruitful, just for introduction. But what happened would, forever in my mind. When we were there in the room, he invited a person. And that person that he invited to meet us was the late comrade Oliver Tambo of the ANC.
Wow.
And the founding father said to him, please meet my people from home. So Namibia was not yet independent. So when he used that words, it was emotional. Look here, Sam Nujoma, that he introduced us to another African leader, great leader, my people from home. So that embodied the inclusivity and the embracing of all ethnic groups. Okay. And then the next morning, we were again in a meeting, but now with late comrades Theo Jankowski, Chiriange, and Amutenya, and so on.
What is the main purpose of your visit at that time? Yeah.
The main purpose was to meet him, and I would say to be encouraged, because that was the plan of the group. I must name them, like Marco Hausiku and Nambinga, Njala, Shiwameni. They came to Rehoboth and they facilitated that trip.
Yeah.
And so we went, and those meetings, you could see the encouragement, you feel the encouragement that they give, and they themselves were very self-confident, and we would, we see then that independence is not far away.
During the fight for independence, what was the conversation like in Rehoboth, amongst the bastard community, around this man that some have never seen, Dr. Sam Nujoma, and that he's the one leading the fight against, this oppressive regime of South Africa? What did people say about him at that time? And you being a young man yourself, I believe, at that time, what was the conversation like about Sam Nujoma?
Yeah, in my case, I was reading newspapers already from grade 6, standard 4. So I knew about what is going on. But many people in Rehoboth, used to mobilize people. And, Sam Nujoma was always that big picture there. So in Rehoboth, there was also people who contributed immensely towards the struggle. And that was acknowledged when we met our leader there. Comrade Sam Nujoma told us, I'm aware, we know what you people, or some of you people, also did. That old man named Samuel Bekes, Jacobus Samuel Bekes, and we called him in Rehoboth Koos VVO. He was of the first and frequent petitioners to the UN, stating, the oppression of this regime. And that old man, and Comrade Sam Nujoma told us, we know, and that those petitions, it gave us encouragement when we were busy. There were others after that was, because he died in 1965. But others went on to petition the UN. So Rehoboth, there was a part of people always against the oppression of the white South Africans and so on. But unfortunately, other peoples also have had other views.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate that some of us are only hearing about individuals like Koos VVO for the very first time. And as time goes, names like that might disappear in our history books, especially for the younger generation. What do you think needs to be done to ensure that each and every individual who played their part in helping liberate these countries, names and what they did, recorded, so that young people don't forget. They don't forget the fact that these freedoms that we enjoy, when it didn't come on a silver platter, people had to sacrifice their lives, their youth, for this cause that has now produced what we're enjoying currently.
No, I think it should be taken up, recorded in the history books. It should be part of the syllabus of the learners at school. And, sometimes you see people think, okay, it's minorities and whatever. But some of those people did wonderful jobs, in regards to the liberation struggle. And Comrade Nujoma was he walked the talk. So he was not just saying things there. When he came back, because he told us, now you go back and you organize yourselves. We will come very soon. Don't worry about intimidation, victimization. We will come. And when he came from exile, he made a point to go to Rehoboth. So he was very, that inclusivity, as I said. And he went to Rehoboth, held a rally there prior to independence. After independence, he heard about the wife of Koos Fifi. The wife died, passed away. And then he came to Rehoboth to mourn with the family, attend the funeral. So it's embracing. And then he went back.
One of the things that Dr. Nujoma was very passionate about was reconciliation. And for many people, it was a very bitter pill to swallow. And you'd find that, before independence, and many families, including my own family, had an uncle who was fighting on the other side, who had joined the South African Uniformed Forces. And you had a part of that family that still belonged to the ruling party. And post-independence, there was a stance that was taken by the Namibian government, with Dr. Nujoma, of course, at the helm, saying we need to reconcile. It's not going to be an eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth type of situation. We're in this country together. We're free now. What does it say about his love for seeing Namibians unite despite our differences in language, our differences in culture? What do you think informed that, and why did he take that stance at that time to say, look, we're in one house now? We have those that unfortunately were on the other side, but we have to work together if we are going to turn this Namibia into the Namibia that we want it to become. Talk to us about your thoughts around that.
Yeah, I think, his intentions were always to free Namibia. And he fight his lifetime to do that. And to bring people, our people of Namibia, to bring them under one banner, unify them under one banner. And I think you should start with the different communities. And I think he realized that you can only have success if all the people are together. So that was the reason why he would always try to unify people. And this is his policy of reconciliation at the end was very fruitful. I must say, when I heard those words, for instance, my people. So if there was any doubt, where do I stand in the history? Or say the bastards also, where do they stand in the future of our country? We are one nation, and that is what he preached. And, he was charismatic. And you could always see, even if you look to his personal encounter, when he comes at a meeting, he will greet, he will have a conversation with people. I know one instance that the security, they already wanted him to come to a next, proceed.
Yeah.
But he took his time with the people.
Yeah. Lastly, young Theo, what can the younger generation learn from your generation? Of course, as the late President Dr. Hage Geingob always emphasized, and even the presidents before him, they kept on emphasizing that we are now fighting new enemies now. It's about economic development. It's not about fighting poverty. The tools, the weapons are no longer guns, but we now need to apply our minds to ensure that we develop this country. Because the first phase of the economic of the liberation struggle was that of you taking up arms, going against the South African apartheid regime. What advice do you have for the younger generation in terms of participating in this new warfare now of taking the country to the next level?
Yeah, for instance, when I say, you talk about, for instance, reconciliations previously. Let me first start there. When Nujoma didn't bring or give us, what he actually did was he brought dignity to our people. Dignity. And that is most precious. Younger ones, they must learn what happened in the past. They mustn't forget their past. Now, these days, it is now the technology and those kind of things. And it is more difficult now, or otherwise it might be also easier if the technology respond to that, is resilient. But people are so busy, they are not actually worrying or interested in politics and so on. And that is a big worry. You can see it when you have the elections. They don't participate. So somewhere, and I think all start with the schools, actually in home, but in the schools, the syllabus and those things should be in the syllabus.
Right. Theo Jankowski, thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for sharing your personal memories about the late president. And once again,